Hey everyone, today we're diving into geometry. All the key concepts you need to know, simplified and straight to the point. Let's go! Geometry is all about points, lines, angles, and shapes. Key terms are a point, which is a location with no size, generally x, y, in a 2D coordinate plane. Line, a straight path that goes on forever in both directions. A line segment, part of a line with two endpoints. Array, a line that starts at one point and goes on forever in one direction, like a vector. The collection and rearrangement of multiple lines create angles and various shapes. Speaking of angles, there are different types of angles, like an acute angle, which is less than 90 degrees, a right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees, an obtuse angle, which is over 90 degrees, and a straight angle, which is exactly 180 degrees. Triangles can be classified based on sides and angles. To classify them by sides, you call a triangle scalene, which means all three sides have different lengths, an isosceles, which means two sides are of equal length, and equilateral, which means all three sides are of equal length. And for angles, you identify them as an acute triangle, which means all three angles are less than 90 degrees, a right angle triangle, which means one angle is exactly 90 degrees, and an obtuse triangle, which means one angle is greater than 90 degrees. Some triangles can belong to multiple categories. For example, an isosceles right angle triangle has two sides of equal length and also has one angle of 90 degrees. Congruency. Triangle congruency. These are all the ways that you can prove that two triangles are similar, and it even tells you why it's similar, like saying SSS or SAS. With SAS and ASA, it's important to know that when saying side, angle, side, which is what SAS stands for, it means there's a side, and then in between that, there's an angle between the other side. So it's first one side, angle, and then the other side. And then the angle is in between both the sides. And for SAS, angle, side, angle, it's the opposite, where the angles are on the outside, and then in the middle, it's the side. Triangle angle sum theorem. This theorem states that the interior angles of a triangle will always add up to 180, no matter what triangle it is. It could be right angle, obtuse, or acute. Right angle triangle. The longest side that is opposite to a right angle triangle is called the hypotenuse. Pythagorean theorem. For right angle triangles only. This theorem states that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where c is the hypotenuse and a and b are the sides. So for example, if a was equal to 3 and b was equal to 4, then c would be equal to 5. Or if a was equal to 6 and c is equal to 10, then b would be equal to 8. Quadrilaterals. And here are some which I will name. A square. It has 4 equal sides and all of them are 90 degrees, which means they're right angles. A rectangle. It has opposite sides which are equal and it has 4 right angles, just like the square. A rhombus, which has 4 equal sides and angles may vary. A trapezoid, which has only one pair of parallel lines. Circles. To name a few important parts of a circle, they are radius, which is the distance from center to the edge of the circle. Diameter, which is just twice the radius. Circumference, which means it's the distance around the circle. And the area for a circle is pi r squared. And the way you find the area of a circle is pi r squared. The way you find the circumference is 2 pi r. And the way you find the diameter is 2r. By the way, the r refers to radius. Transformations. There are different types of transformations. For example, translation, which means sliding, and rotation, which means turning, reflection, which means flipping, and dilation, which means resizing. Transformations preserve the shape and size except for dilation, which scales it up and down. There are 10 proofs that you need to learn. The vertical angle theorem, the triangle angle sum theorem, the isosceles triangle theorem, the perpendicular bisector theorem, the alternate interior angle theorem, opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent, opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent, diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other, a parallelogram with congruent diagonals is a rectangle, and all circles are similar. If you don't know some of these theorems, I suggest watching my video on angles, which I will link in the description below. And that's a wrap on geometry. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe for more quick breakdowns. See you next time. Goodbye.